Yo!
Yayo Talk Show!
Dreamin'!
Don't give it up, Molly.
Dreamin'!
Don't give it up, Marco.
Dreamin'!
Don't give it up, Katie.
Dreamin'!
Al's name didn't fit. They talk about the show, this group of four friends been going for 1,000,000 years, there's no end. Watching every arc and saga, no sleep. It's the king of anime, 1,000 episodes deep.
Yayo Talk Show!
Talking about One Piece.
It's the name of the podcast.
We're not on Vine. Yayo Talk Show. Talking about
One Piece.
What's up, wenches, privateers, and non-binary buccaneers? Welcome aboard the most chaotic One Piece podcast on the Grand Linternet. Are you ready for our final arc? Is that ominous enough? Before we decide whether or not that's ominous enough, let's introduce you to the crew. The captain of the CrUno Pirates, Molly D. Simpy.
I don't like how you said that. I don't like that.
So that's one vote for it being too ominous. We also have wild theorist Kaden Jensen.
I thought it was fine. It was pretty all right.
Ooh, that's
I
one
think
for
it's
pro.
cool.
Al, you might be the tiebreaker. Laugh-Borg Al McClellan.
Yeah, that was professional ominousness.
Ooh, ominosity.
Ominosity, yeah.
That's right. And that means, you know what that means? I am the ominous gentleman. Mark B. Donica. The B, of course, stands for Bonesman. You know this.
Can I take it
know
away
it is
now
now.
so we can make
Time.
him not ominous anymore? I want to take it away now.
Well, it's even 2-2. So, and I already have a new nickname. It's legally binding. Handshake
Okay.
agreement. We did it.
What? Wait, what?
What?
What do you mean?
I don't think
final
that's how
saga.
this works. I don't
I
think
think
you
it
get to nickname yourself. I don't
Anyway,
think that
hey,
that's how
everybody.
that works.
So, Hot Wano Summer, that lasted till October, is over.
Hot 90% of the year.
It's
Hot
a California summer.
Hot Wano year.
Record heat October.
Record heat October.
And
Yes.
the reason I'm saying this is our final arc is because we are rapidly approaching KDIN being fully caught up with One Piece.
Yo,
It's just wild.
It's
There is
insane.
Kaden Jensen.
that's me.
We did it
Tee-hee.
again.
I did it.
Good night, everybody.
She's done it. We know she could have done it in a month, but it's taken us like
Several
3 years.
years.
3
Yeah.
3 years. 3D2Y, everybody.
It's yeah, it probably would have taken you 3 days if you really tried.
It's not that long. It's not. Everybody, like, literally is just like, it's fine. It's whatever.
Sounds like a skill issue.
People like
Definitely.
kept saying this was like, it's super hard to like get through all of this. And it's just like, no, I don't think so. I think it's a lot easier than you'd assume to get through all of One Piece. I could have done it way faster, but I was told to stop. So here we are.
It's
Yay.
almost time to go off, Queen. Molly. Oh, wait, Molly. Earmuffs? Earmuffs? It's almost time to go off, Queen. Okay. Audio medium.
Audio medium until it's not, until it's on video, until you're doing it, the video bits, until the video bits.
I'm going to have to put a set of headphones on Molly's character, and that's fine. But similarly to what we did before Wano, there's this in-between of 3 chapters before the next arc gets started in earnest. And a lot happens. So we're going to take a little bit of time and go over these 3 chapters, specifically 1058, 1059, 1060, before we get into the next arc proper. And I guess I want to go straight to Kaden and ask for immediate reactions. What was the thing that stood out the most?
What stood out
if you could
the
pick
most
one
to me?
thing that stood
If
out
I could pick one thing that stood out the most, of these 3 chapters, well, first of all, they're really dense. You can't just say what's the one thing. These are like,
because we're going to talk
some
about
of the-
everything, but I want to hook them. I want to hook them.
Let's see. I guess the big hook here is that Buggy is worth more than Luffy now. Somehow this man keeps failing so far upward that he doesn't even want to be there anymore. Like he is so like he's one of the most wanted men in the world. Period. He is now technically on paper alone, but not in actuality, the boss of both Crocodile and Mihawk, and has a whole thing going on, and he's worth more than Luffy, and he has done nothing. He's done nothing. He not only has he done nothing, he hasn't even shown up in this long to actually do anything. The last major thing he did was lie about everything that happened when Ace died. That was the last major thing that Buggy did. Somehow, Luffy beats Kaido, and Buggy is worth more.
Well,
this is such a moment of just like, how did this dude do it? How did he do it? And the answer is he is such a loser that everybody knows that they can manipulate this dude. And they're just like, all right, cool. We're going to paint the target on this guy's back. We can just chill. We can relax. We'll be fine.
He's
and
a useful
I've made a
idiot.
mistake. Buggy is literally in his, I messed around. And now I'm finding out. I've messed around. I'm finding out. I didn't want to find out. I was hoping to get out of here. I was trying to run away. And then Crocodile and Mihawk showed up. And I was supposed to be gone by now. And everybody keeps following me because they like me. And I don't know why they like me, because I hate me. And I'm terrible. And everything I am is a lie. And when I walk around, I jingle now. And I'm just a hot bag of gas. And I don't know what I'm doing anymore. But he's worth 3.1 billion berry. 3.1 billion berry.
I've never related to him more.
To be fair, 3.189 billion berry. Why? Also, he's got a wild new, like, his wanted poster is actually really cool. Frankie, however, got the shaft. Frankie's new wanted poster sucks.
I'm trying to remember what it is now.
I fully think Buggy
It's the Sunny. His new wanted poster is just the Sunny. It's not him. It's just the boat.
Speaking of Buggy's wanted poster, though, I feel like he's imitating Luffy. Like Luffy's wave poster.
I think you're right.
It's just like, I'm gonna do it, but flashier.
What if I'm a clown and I do it now? Does it make a difference?
Also, the Cross Guild poster is like the hypest
cool.
summer festival poster I've ever seen.
Yeah, I can't wait to see those bands.
Buggy's marketing department is just
I love
killing
that
it.
he asked his followers to make a poster, and they said "on it, boss," and then they're like, "Here's my commission for you, boss," and it's like the dopest fan art.
Don't
where
worry,
the
we've
CEO
already nailed
steps
it.
back and the company is just knocking it out of the park with every decision.
You know that the Cross Guild tour is going to have like $12 beers, and they're going to be really small, and they're going to be very unsatisfying.
That's part of the scheme. That's all part of the scheme.
Super watered down, and it's going to be like Miller Lite or something like that.
But
and it's
the
going to
wine
be like,
bar is going to be killer.
Yeah.
but you can't get there because
yeah.
it's just for Mihawk and
Yeah, it's gonna be cordoned off.
Yeah, that's the VIP section. I love these 3 chapters because literally all of our favorites are basically in all of these chapters.
all of our favorites.
get a
Everyone
quick
is here.
We get to check in on the Straw Hats. We get to see what's going on. The Cross Guild, my new favorite throuple.
Shout out to
Marco, Shanks's crew. We get to see what's
Yamato.
going. Yeah, Yamato. We get to see what's going on with the Revolutionary Army. We get a little bit of flashback, which is just for me. We get flashbacks to Marineford, which I don't. That is also just for me, but I don't like it. A lot going
We
on.
get to check in with the Kamabaka Queendom, and we get to take a look at we get to hear word from Dragon. And
Oh,
we
shout
hear
out to
from-
Big Mood.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Big Mood. Yeah,
Big Mood is back for the first time in a gajillion years.
Big Mood and Little Mood.
Big Mood and yeah, what the hell?
So
What is up with that? Why is there a Little Mood?
Al.
Where did Little Mood come
Yes.
from?
I wanna, because these are so dense, and we're gonna talk a little bit about everything. I want to hit everybody's before they go off Queens. I wanted to ask you what moment stands out the most to you.
I love Buggy's new predicament. Like he definitely would have been happy with middling fame. Like he would have been happy like 200 chapters ago, and it just kept happening without his permission.
This dude wanted to
He was
be
happy as a Shichibu guy.
He wanted to be a D-list horror movie star, and now he's like a Hollywood A-lister, and he's like, I don't like anything that's happening to me right now.
Yeah, he
And I
really
would
wanted
like
to
go
stick
back.
to the con circuit, but no longer.
I feel like he fully he was like, this is a silly video, and posted it online, and then he just became an influencer.
Oh, God, he did. He posted one video on TikTok, and all of a sudden, everything just went wrong with his life.
Yeah, and all these people are
Retired influencer.
collaborating with him, and he doesn't like it, but the brand deals are nice.
The marine brand deals. Yeah.
I love me some Bootlicker Buggy. Like,
Old Bay body powder. Buy it now.
oh, gross. Ugh. Does that Buggy's cornbread? Yeah, I don't. Look, we're gonna talk about Buggy a lot, and I love that. So I'm gonna say something different. I love the world lore. This is sort of the beginning of Oda, even more so, just dropping bomb after bomb after bomb, almost literally.
Oops,
when
all
it comes
bangers.
Yeah, when all of a sudden it's like, oh, have I not mentioned that? I'll mention that. The fact that it looks like there's some sort of space laser that can completely wipe islands off of existence.
Oops.
Which,
Oops, all Buster calls.
I mean, a super Buster call. But
Do it like Frankie.
gives me
Radical Buster call.
so much information about the world that I wanna bring up later. But just like the king has a space laser, and that's terrifying.
Just
Oh my
casually,
God.
we're getting into the nuclear war aspect of this world.
We find out that there's actually like very, very high profile technology. Like the technology is just insane for
Well,
for
the
a
thing is like-
wood-based ocean economy.
We don't know what they have at all.
True.
What they have.
Like speaking of things that they don't have, Kobe, they don't have
They
Kobe
do not have
anymore.
Kobe anymore.
They don't have Kobe.
Oops.
Where did we leave him? He was right here.
We left him in the live action.
His current status is unknown. Oops.
Oops.
How
So
do you lose an entire child?
They
Well,
just left him. They left
you
him at
lose
Target.
him?
They just left him at Target in the video game section by
The
accident.
Marines left Kobe at Target.
Oops.
Oh,
So,
God.
talking about that situation, I guess that's a good place to start. Blackbeard shows up on Kuja Island
Of course
to
he
try
does.
to take Big Mood's devil fruit.
He
And-
he at least wants her, but if she's not gonna like bow to him, then he wants her devil fruit. He wants Boa Hancock's devil fruit.
Yeah. And Kobe's there, and Rayleigh is there, and thank God Shaki is there. But, like, it's this
Been
huge,
1,000 years.
huge incident. And as a result of all of this, Kobe is taken hostage, and everything is kind of, like, evened out. What I don't... Everybody is making moves, and I hate it.
They were like, "Oh, is the main character getting close to the One Piece? We're teaming up. I'm gonna take over this thing. I'm doing this now."
I
Yeah,
feel like this is
my
Oda
hackles are
trying
definitely
to trying to really bring everything back together because I'll be honest, we lost the plot a little bit. I feel like between Whole Cake and Wano, we definitely lost the overarching plot that happens with everything else because we've been so honed in and so focused on like, well, we got to fight Big Mom and then we got to fight Kaido. And it's like, cool, we did that. What were we doing? We're going to find the One Piece, Luffy. It's like, that's right. We're going to find the One Piece. And we need to go and get there because
The name of the treasure on
insert
the Grand
thing that
Line.
Oda decided to not put there for various reasons, probably because one of two things. One, he hasn't figured it out yet. Or two, he doesn't want to reveal anything yet. Could be both. Could be
Why
neither.
not both?
Who knows? But the idea is that that's right. We are close to the One Piece. We're really only a few steps away.
Well, it's
So-
weird to think about because, like, truly the beginning of this whole second half of One Piece after the time skip has, in one way or another, related to Wano. Like, we
Yes.
meet Kin on Punk Hazard, and, like, we get a little bit of that Big Mom stuff on Fishman Island.
Yep.
And it's been like in the back of our mind is finding the One Piece and finishing the story, but at the same time it's like, well, we're gonna do the side quest first and then we'll do the main storyline later.
That's exactly what it feels like. It feels
Yeah.
like we're playing a JRPG and like,
Yes.
hey, you know what you're supposed to be going for. You know what you're supposed to be doing. But then these earth-shattering events happen that make it impossible for you to make any sort of progress forward until you take care of this and that. And this and that just
gotta
happened
finish
to be
the
a
Kabuki
gigantic...
play.
Exactly. It just so happened to be a gigantic dragon and a very, very large mother.
It's it's weirdly jarring. Like, I understand that this is the point of the whole show, but like now that we finally wrapped on the Wano stuff, it's like, oh, right, we have this whole rest of the story to do. Haha. Oh, okay. Every chapter is like, it's like a half a chapter now, and it's like, okay, we're getting a lot of, like, we're info dumping a lot here, Oda. Oda, can we slow down?
I kind of love it though, because it's like the world has continued even though the Straw Hats
Yeah.
haven't been there. Like, the life goes on elsewhere in these big ways that the Straw Hats just aren't aware of in the least until they read a paper.
Yeah.
But the
yeah.
thing is that like we catch up with, like, after the whole thing with Buggy and everything like that, we find out that like we're hearing the last little bits of everybody's story, which is like, we have Marco who's just like, oh, I'm done. That was my last one. Like JK.
Okay.
I know
One
I
more.
said last time was my last one, but this time's really my last one because I can't keep up with you kids anymore. I'm out of here. Rayleigh the same way, being just like, look, back in my heyday, I could have taken him one-on-one, super easy. I could have taken a couple of them. But I can't beat him now. And I think that just because of my name, I was able to save who I could this time. That doesn't mean it's going to work next time because he's going to come back stronger and I'm only going to be older and more tired. So he's going to
hotter.
probably take me down last and hotter. Thank you, Molly. But like, you take a look at all of that and then you take a look at like them, like the Straw Hats back on their ship, and they're just kind of like, they're kind of just like talking about things. And like the fact that, hey, look, Vivi's dad is dead. And Vivi is missing, and they're blaming Sabo. And it's like, of course it's not Sabo. It would never be Sabo. Why would it ever be Sabo? That's dumb.
Unless...
But then we talk about like all these other things, like the dreams of everything. I do, however, one thing I really do love is like Robin's trying to tell everybody, like, here's some stuff that's going on, and it's like, hey, you know, there's other stuff going on besides just this. Luffy, do you want to know about it? And Luffy's like, tell me if it's important. And she's just like, okay, I'll do that. I don't want to overload you with anything or anything like that. But the important thing is that like they're just kind of hanging. They're like actually relaxing, sort of, for what it's worth, based off of like, this is the post arc for them. Meanwhile, everybody else is going through their version of Wano right now. They're going through some really horrible nonsense. But we get to see that like, oh yeah, we all swore oaths to each other, and we find out Sabo's is like, I want to see the world and write a book about it. And Luffy's is question mark. And everybody like kind of like is either reacting like, oh my God, are you serious? Or that's hilarious, dude. That's amazing. So, but I think the other important thing is that Luffy only told 3 people before this, and I think that this is where things are going to come back together again. It was Sabo, it was Ace, and it was Shanks. And I think we're going to probably get, and I think Molly,
Yes.
because of how things are going, I think we might get more flashbacks. And because of more flashbacks, that means that very likely, R.I.P. in peace Ace, we might see more of him.
I mean, he's consistently voted on as one of the most popular characters in the character ranking. So, I mean, they brought him back.
He's been dead for what, 15 years?
Yeah.
I mean,
Jesus.
to be fair, Crocodile was rocking it for like 20 years, and he finally just came back.
Yeah. After prison.
After prison, yeah.
So
after prison.
Since you brought it up, Kaden, I was curious. Do you have any sort of inclination of what Luffy's dream might be?
I mean, I have some inclinations. I think the obvious one is to set the world free, like basically like give everybody freedoms, like abolish the government, get rid of it. It's like no more Marines, everybody's a pirate, and the world is yours. Kind of like really opening things up, which is ridiculous to say. And I think that that's the appropriate amount of less like, yeah, that's the stupid thing to say. Nobody would ever say that, but it's absolutely something Luffy would want to do. Mm-hmm. Hell, maybe some of the other stupid things could be he wants to eat the world. He just wants to eat it. Like it could literally could be anything.
One of my favorite theories that has sprung up since this chapter is that he wants to swim.
I love that one.
That's really funny.
Because if we're going back, if only Ace, Sabo, and Shanks know it, then it's something from when he was really young. And one of the things that we learn early on that he claims Shanks is like, Shanks, you don't have to worry about me. I'm an excellent swimmer. And so if his dream is I want to swim again.
You think he wants to be an Olympic swimmer?
No. I think he just wants to swim, like
so
be completely carefree and be able to just swim in the ocean that he loves so much.
Doggy paddling might be enough.
Yeah.
I'm not saying it's wrong. I'm just saying I have never considered that. And that's very cute.
Exactly. It's cute, and I wouldn't be mad if that's what the dream was.
I don't think it is because specifically one character's reaction. Zoro goes, huh? Jinbei's just like, what did you just say? Nami's like, what? Brooks busts out laughing. It's like, you're too much. Frankie also
devil
laughs.
Fruit user.
Frankie also busts out laughing. It's great. It's perfect. Sanji's just like, you need to get your head checked by Chopper. Robin says nothing. Chopper goes, whoa. But the one that sticks out is, of course, Usopp. Usopp saying, hey, are you serious?
Yeah, do you want to die?
It's the thing is like if it was just he wants to have a little swimmies, I don't think Usopp would react that way. Because Usopp would have laughed at that. Usopp would have been just like, yeah, you want to swim again. That's pretty funny. Usopp would not say, are you serious? Like that Usopp is the one who will absolutely take something like that is goofy and laugh at it. He is a laugh guy. He's he ha ha just like the rest of them. But when Usopp says, "Are you serious? Like are we really even considering the fact that you're going to do this? That might be really have some implications of what's going on."
Yeah,
it's not going to be it's not going to be something so he's not going to die. He's not going to go swimmies. It's not going to be swimmies. It's cute, but there's no way that Usopp reacted to Luffy wants to swim again with, are you serious? With that kind of face and that kind of reaction. No way.
Kaden, do you know what my theory is?
What's your theory, Molly?
Okay, so hear me out on this one. But
I'm listening.
He is hoping that Polly joins the crew.
Got her.
I can't believe you, Molly. Betrayed.
I was like, there's no way she's gonna not know that this is a bit.
I have no clue. I thought you had a real thing.
I do.
All right.
But I think we'll talk about the real thing on another episode.
Oh.
Mayhaps
okay,
I-
a certain port.
Yeah, I just wanted to mention that theory because it's nice, and it's one of those things that brings Luffy back down to like humanity as opposed to being a god.
Because it's nice.
It's nice.
Yeah, it's just nice. It's just
Yeah.
nice.
So I love when Oda introduces us to something that we have no idea about it, and then wipes it off the face of his own planet.
Yeah, why not? Just get rid of it.
It's like when we got to Robin's Island, and it's just like, oh, Robin's Island just is gone forever now. And it's like, what if you could make it gone super forever with the orbital death cannon from frickin' Gears of War, and the government's just like, yeah. As for that country, yeah, it never existed.
The
Not only
government
did it-
said, say less.
yeah, not only does it not exist now, it so doesn't exist, it never existed. So what does this thing do? What does this thing do? Like, it definitely, it's an eradication laser for sure.
It takes
But what
arcs
did
and sagas and it ends them.
But what did it actually do? Is this thing is it like more than it appears? Is this not just like oh, hey, it got rid of it. Did it actually erase it? Is this literal or is this just figurative?
I mean, the world has become so fragmented that it seems like they physically wiped it off, and then eradicating history books. It seems like something that the Marines wouldn't just probably do, but have done and will do again. And then, similar to how Robin became wanted for being the last survivor of a dead culture, and very specifically because she can read the poneglyphs, but also it wouldn't surprise me if anybody survived, or if they found out that anybody survived, they would be immediately put on the wanted list. And so then they erase any history of that happening, whether it's its people or its culture.
Whoa.
So there is one more thing that I kind of want to point out because of the whole, like, again,
'Cause
the
the
Marines,
whole?
the Navy having all of this stuff.
Oh.
They just cloned someone. They outright basically cloned a person.
More than a few.
And
We see two.
we see two, but then they say it looks like they're trying to replace the 7 warlords with these new weapons. So this, and of course we see Kuma, so like it's definitely related to that.
Can I
and
say
be
something
like-
that's going to physically hurt all of us?
Sure.
Okay.
The government being like, LOL, you guys are out of a job, we don't need you anymore because we copied and pasted you. And
Yeah, it's a little
Child
too
labor.
real.
my brain immediately went to the AI in the
Yeah.
current state of everything. And I hate that.
But
I hate that so
also
much.
child labor.
Yeah.
Free
They're trying to do
happening
that
right
too.
now.
They're trying to do that too.
But it's like you were mentioning though, Caden,
One Piece is always relevant.
in terms of circling back, is we circle back to pacifistas, we circle back to the Shichibukai, and also the fact that it looks like they all have dark wings, and that
Yes.
flame in the middle goes
Yep.
back to King's time being experimented on.
Yep.
Hey, so just real quick, that's my OC, do not steal. Do not steal?
Or the
No,
pacifistas.
these new babies. These are my
the new
OCs.
babies.
Please do not steal.
You mean hashtag New Kids on the Block?
Here's
My
oh
characters
God.
are like characters that you already know and love, but younger. They're not old and gross. They're cool and young, and
And they have stars for eyes.
And they're not the same. Okay, they're not the same. They have special eye pupils that make them look really cool.
I'm
and,
gonna be real.
This one's
Yep.
called Sanic the Hedge Pig.
And
love it.
and they have beautiful wings, and they're beautiful, and they're strong, and you cannot defeat them, and they're really cool, and they are gonna kick Blackbeard's butt. Okay.
I'm gonna be real. I feel like there's almost no way that Luffy doesn't make friends with these kids. There's no way that he doesn't like. I would be
if
one.
they're still children.
I mean, well, the thing is like, dude, there's no way. It's too funny. It's too
No,
funny.
I absolutely agree. But like, we don't know too much about them yet, and they might, they might look like children, but are they actually children? Like,
Well, the
that's
thing
all
is
I'm saying.
like, when do you think that they initiated this plan? Probably just before the whole crew like broke up. It was like, okay, well, we're getting rid of this. So they needed to have a backup plan. The backup plan would have taken X amount of years. Let's say that they grow a little faster than a normal person would. They'd be about this age at that time. Because you can't count the Kuma clones, because the Kuma clones were full-on robots. They're just like robots with Kuma
Attitude.
abilities. Yeah, they're like street sharks.
Awesome.
Whoa. Now
They're
I want to
like-
make friends with them.
They're not like clones. But he was also experimented on. So like you take the little bit of Kuma, you take a
take
little bit of the
Kuma.
king, and
I
then you
don't
take a
like
little bit
that
of
you said that.
all
It's the
the other
facts of
people,
life.
and you smoosh them, and then you go, it's the facts of life. But I don't think that like what happened to Kuma and what we're seeing now is definitely related. It's just I don't know necessarily if it's like a 1-to-1 kind of scenario, because I feel like there is like the way they can't keep teasing Kuma, like Kuma's like, his whole personality coming
whole-
back. Stop it. Stop it.
I don't want to repeat what you. I want to because it's funny, but I don't want that sound clip to exist.
I'll pull cadence.
Oh my
Okay.
God.
Well, I don't know what I said, so like, shut up.
So I
You were
win.
hoping, yeah, no, Molly wins because I was almost going to repeat it. And I went, nope. She makes a very good point.
Silly.
What else happens? What else happens in these three that we want to talk? Okay, so we talked about Blackbeard. we
well,
talked about
I'm
Boa.
waiting. I'm waiting for me to go off, Queen. I'm waiting for my 2
So-
seconds of fame.
Respectfully, co-off queen.
So we get
Yeah.
a flashback of Wano and Marco getting hanging a ride with Shanks and his crew, and we get if anybody if you listen to our Wano episodes
I'm sorry.
and
I'm sorry. I got
remember-
excited. I'm
remember
sorry.
an argument
I'm sorry.
between KDIN and Molly about Yamato.
I'm on my
it's
knees. I'm
because-
very sorry.
Molly remembered these chapters out of order, and we realized that after the fact, and couldn't tell KDIN until she read them. So
So for the
very
last
funny.
6 months, I've been feeling terrible.
I'm sorry.
But
Those
no,
last
the
6
answer,
mon's Caden's been like, is she mad at me?
is she
I'm
mad
not
at
sure.
me? The truth is that what Molly and I were both saying in that episode was correct. The person we can blame for the misunderstanding, Ichiro Oda.
Finally, someone says it.
But like I think it's like, as much as this like page and a half basically kind of sort of changes what happened back then, it doesn't fully retcon the conversation. It just feels like we got the first half of the conversation, and this is the second half. So one, I totally understand why Molly was confused, and two, everything makes a lot more sense to me now. That said, I do think, like, even more in context here, Luffy was disappointed. It's like, I wanted Yamabro to come with. This would have
That's
been
my bro.
awesome.
That
Would've
does
been
sound like him.
That's my
Bro.
dude. That's my bro.
Really good
We're
impression.
just bros. We're gonna bro it around, and we're gonna bro all up and down the ocean. It's gonna be a bro apocalypse.
The Broshin.
Luffy would never, but my head immediately went to like silly guilting Yamato and be like, oh cool, so I lost one brother already, so I'm gonna lose another.
Wow.
Luffy's just like, you stay here until I get the One Piece because I can't lose another brother.
I can't.
It's like Mr.
He's-
Incredible. I can't lose you again.
Luffy being like, boy, I sure hope there's not gonna be any bad brother news in the newspaper tomorrow.
Like his eyes literally like start bugging out of his head directly towards Yamato.
I do feel like Yamato is and I don't mean to say this as a it's more of a narrative thing and not necessarily a true quote unquote replacement, but Yamato feels like the Ace replacement. Yamato is the
Boo.
surrogate Ace, the surrogate brother, so to speak.
Listen, we can all have as many brothers as we want, but there is no replacing any one of them.
But the thing is like there's so much of Ace
Unless you find
that
the
is
donut hole.
within Yamato, in the drive, in the attitude, in the goals of everything. You know, Yamato doesn't want to necessarily be this whole thing. Yamato is kind of chasing both Oden and Ace's ideals and kind of like pushing them together and be like, I want to be like the best parts of this guy and the best parts of this guy. And I think it's going to be cool to see when Yamato comes back into play. And Yamato will come back into play. There's too much that's been like, and this will happen. This is exactly what we got with frickin' Jinbei. And so it's like, well, we'll come back. You'll come back. Don't worry about it. We'll come back to you when it's time.
Be better.
This was another one of those things where it's like, it's not your time yet because
I've
we
said it
just got
before,
Jinbei.
And I'll say it again. The final battle roll-up is going to be so epic. And
It's going to take 50 chapters just to show everybody.
absolutely.
It's
going to
gonna
be fully
ridiculous.
Avengers Endgame. It's going to be like, pirates,
They're gonna
assemble.
They're going to have to figure out a way to teleport that many people in because people slowly sailing in on one point, like, it'll take forever, but I also can't wait for that.
It's
Well, the
just
thing
going
is
to be
like, I don't necessarily think that the final thing is going to happen at the One Piece. I don't think
agree.
that's going to. I don't think that that's going to happen. It's going to happen
agree.
before then, because
I don't
I
think
feel
that.
I feel like we should. And this is like, okay, if I was writing this, I would have the whole big battle happen before the whole thing. Like, we've got all the pieces. We're all going to get to the point where we can get to the entryway to the One Piece. And that's where the battle would happen. But I just want Luffy to just kind of walk in at the end and just open the thing and it be there. I want that like big shot of like Luffy opening a gigantic door with the silhouette, like the light blasting him through, and you see the silhouette of him, like, you know, his arms up like he usually does when he jumps up in the sky, that like X, that skull and crossbones style pose that he does. I want that with him ripping open the door and the light coming in from the other side, and you see this big burst of light, and then the chapter ends, but then the next chapter shows you what's inside, because if he doesn't show what's in whatever the One Piece is, I'm gonna find Oda.
We
and
riot.
I'm gonna write him a very strongly worded letter.
I would love to talk about what I think might happen on another episode, but I hear what you're saying. 'Cause I truly, like, these chapters are so dense. If we start going into theories right now, it's going to be like a 4-hour episode.
There's so many little things to like. These are basically us putting pin notes together.
Yeah, and
It's just like,
I'm glad
here's
that
our
I feel
notes
like
for this.
the gears are turning for you, Kaden, because
It's been a while since the gears have been turning. Everything has been pretty rote until now. We were all just kind of getting to a point, and now there's just like, hey, you remember when this show would just drop information on the ground and you'd have to figure out what it meant and you'd have to have the whole like murder board up? Yeah, I hope you didn't throw that murder board
hole
away because it's all relevant again. But we've been so stuck in Whole Cake and Wano time. It's just like, okay, we're back to, it's very weird to say this, we're back to where One Piece kind of started again. We're back in this whole idea of where are we going? What do we need to get there? What information do we need? And what is going to try and stop us along the way? Until
we're
this
reminded
point,
of the mysteries.
Exactly. This is like we're back to Romance Dawn. We're back to the time skip. We're in that moment again where enough major things have happened and the crew is all back together again for the first time in true sense of it, because there was so much going on that even on Wano everybody was separated and everything like that, but everybody's back together again and we have Jinbei now. So now we need to get back to the central idea of things, and I think we're going to be very focused while also looking at everybody else's stories. This is so much information, but we're still focused. We're still laser focused on like everybody's preparing for a war.
Actually, I just reading through these chapters again, I realized something interesting. So
What?
they bugged the call from Sabo to the Kamabaka Kingdom. And
Yes.
from that, they knew that it was going to the Revolutionary Army's island. They knew the island, and they used that information to pinpoint that Sabo was on Leluja. Could they not use that same information to pinpoint where the Revolutionary Army was in its entirety and space laser that island?
That's not the point.
I'm just wondering what the logistics of that are.
Why
Hey, can you
haven't
say
they done
that
this
quieter?
before?
Hey, no, Mark, can you say that quieter?
No, I'm actually texting Oda right now. So
Mark, I swear to God,
hey, so
throws your phone across the room,
oh, hey,
out the window
I
into
was
into
using
traffic.
that.
Never again.
All right,
Never.
If he doesn't text me back, he doesn't text you back.
I'm just gonna have to go over to his place.
No,
BRB.
no. Remember what
But,
I
like-
just said about losing brothers?
It's probably like he had to break cover to tell them about the news that just spread everywhere. It's like he wanted to get the story straight to the Revolutionary Army.
No,
so
that part I understand. But if they could trace where Sabo's call was coming from, how could they not trace the location where the call was going to? You know what I mean?
yeah.
I don't know enough
Maybe
about
it-
technology.
Maybe it's like radio waves where it just transmits on a frequency in all directions, so they
I
can
don't know
they can
enough
figure
about
out where it
snails
comes
to
from.
really
But
weigh in on this.
we don't know how snails work.
Maybe the snail was being a bro and was like, I'm not going to snitch everyone out.
Or maybe the snail itself was bugged, and they just know that he was calling. He was calling a location, but they couldn't track where that location was. I don't. Yeah, snails are weird.
Mark,
It's
Mark,
not
of course it's bugged. It's a snail.
it's buggy.
What?
Are snails bugs?
Are snails bugs?
In this world, Oda confirmed that the Dindinmushi are in fact insects.
Do you think
Neat.
Buggy has
Gross.
his own Denden Mushi that he calls Little Buggy?
No,
bug.
he calls something else Little Buggy.
No.
His nose.
So the short answer in our world for snails, they're
Dead
members
silent.
of the animal kingdom.
Wow.
Great Park.
So they're not.
Jesus.
They're mollusks. To be
Yeah, that makes sense.
exact.
Yeah, of course.
I think-
a snail is a mollusk, but
Goop,
In-
goop in a shell.
I don't know enough about mollusks.
it's not with a home to live.
Molly, it's
not
like
with
most
a home.
of your name.
Your namesake.
All right.
Molly the mollusk.
I was going to make a joke about how we've never met in real life, and then I realized I've met all of you in real life. Oops.
Oh, that swamp guy's still around. I hate him.
Yeah, what the hell? Like, I forgot he was there.
They chained him in the barrel and then like forgot that he was in there. And honestly, same.
Loki tortured him by accident.
Dude, I totally forgot. How long has he been in there?
Since
Has he
before
been-
Wano.
Oh,
Has he-
while.
Has he been in there since he was like plotting out what he was going to do and Frankie was like leaning and looking at him? Was it from that bit?
I think so.
Oh my god.
Maybe he stored a bunch of snacks in his goop.
Ew. Oh yeah,
Ew.
probably, honestly.
I don't like the way you
was-
said that.
They're all gushers.
How else should I have said it?
Oh, God.
All just
Molly,
gushers.
did you know that there's a thing called deep fried gushers? Anyway, back to One Piece.
I do. I'm from Wisconsin. We created deep fried Twinkies.
Deep fried Twinkies and deep fried gushers are very different beasts.
No. Not the
Fried
whole
beast
of
now?
it.
You know what else is a different beast?
What?
Hold on, I have something for this.
Can
No,
I talk
hold
about
on.
my thing? Can I talk
The
about my
I
segue
mean, we started
is
talking
perfect.
about Marco and then we got off of it.
Yeah, why?
I don't know.
Who did
Is this?
that?
Do you think this is the last we're going to see of Marco?
No.
No, absolutely not.
No, I called Oda.
I called Oda.
But
I
he didn't
called
text you
Oda.
back.
No, I called Oda on Mark's phone.
Mark's phone is
dang
like,
it.
hi, this is Mark Bidonica. Don't
your heart
forget about
makes-
Marco.
You're
Heart makes me go doki doki.
Doki Doki. That's just a joke for us. I don't know how to explain that to people.
That's fine.
Okay, great.
So Molly, what makes your heart go doki doki?
Oh my gosh.
This bird man.
I know that he just got done like retconning that they know each other and that Shanks wanted him originally on his crew, but it's really cute in modern day to be like, teehee, I never got over that. So you gonna join up or what? And then Marco, who's like mid-40s, is just like me today, being like, haha, you kids have fun. I'm too old for this.
How
I'm
old
not
is Marco?
doing that.
How old is Marco?
45.
He's no way.
Yes.
No way.
Yes, he's 45.
You're really,
How is he-
you're
how
really
is
gonna
he-
come at me about Marco
How
facts?
no. I'm just like, how is he just like, oh, I'm
Cue
too
the music.
old, and he's talking to Shanks's crew. How old is Shanks?
Shanks is
24.
younger than him. Yeah. No, not that young.
He's not 24.
He's not. How dare you?
He's in his late 30s,
twilight
early
years.
40s. He's like 39.
Mid to late 30s, his Twilight pirate year.
Oh my, Molly.
His Twilight
What?
pirate years.
Give it to me. Give it to me.
Did you Google that?
No.
He's
I just
39.
know that. Yeah, I
He's
just know that.
39. Okay,
just-
so he's 39, and
Just know
Marco
these
is what?
things.
45.
Marco's 45, yeah.
Marco is 45. Marco's a liar.
How do you guys not
Lying.
remember?
This dude,
how do
this
you-
dude is so lying.
I remember the flashback so vividly. And
This
he was
dude
just
is
this little
so
guy.
lying.
And the other one was a teenager. It's not that
This
hard,
dude-
you guys.
This 45-year-old dude goes up to somebody who is 39 and says, "Oh, you whippersnapper." And it's like, dude, shut up. He is
It's
just
not his fault, Caden.
Marco
Like, remember
is
who his
100% trolling Shanks at
remember
this point.
remember who his father is, remember?
Yeah, how old was Whitebeard? 1,000? Dude,
60s. He was 63?
dude, no way.
Looking at
He
Mark.
was 63?
Or 73?
Wait, who's what?
Whitebeard.
How old is he?
Actually, I think Molly might be right. Let me get this real quick. Molly, that's
He's got to be 70-something. He's got to at least be something 70-something.
72. He died at 72. I just looked
Okay,
it up.
so
there
he
goes-
died at 72.
goes
He
my
died
one
at
job.
72, which means that what? A couple years have gone by since then. Dude,
2, probably.
Dude.
72, and Marco at 45 is just like, nah, I'm too old for this. First
Dude,
of
what
all,
a life to live.
you are a phoenix. You can come back.
Exactly. And the guy
ages-
who's a phoenix is saying it. That guy is
Hey.
going through his midlife
Hey.
crisis.
Hey, Caden, you just blew my mind. Hey, real
What?
quick.
What?
Yeah, what's
Here's
up?
here's a concept.
Tell me.
What if Marco is feeling his age because this isn't his first life?
I mean, he's
No.
still looking good.
Well,
No, I don't think so.
Because he's a phoenix.
didn't he
mean-
not
I mean-
start with the fruit?
He didn't.
I don't know if we. I don't know.
No. He was non-devil fruit when we met him
Okay.
originally.
But what? So then we've talked before about devil fruits like inheriting wills. What if all of the past lives of
Are
the
you
people who-
telling me? Are you telling me that the Tori Tori no Mi model Phoenix is the same thing as a one for all? Is that what you're telling me?
No.
Is that
No.
what you're telling me?
The-
Are you
no,
telling me
the-
this is his All Might's bird?
I'm
If you
going off of-
combine both my favorites.
I mean, to be fair, All Might does kind of look like a bird.
That's
All Might
true. He
bird.
does have. He has the same color hair as Marco. Are we sure that they're not the same person?
Rest my case. But no, I'm going
I've
off
never
of what
seen them
you've said
both in the same
past.
room or panel.
I'm going off of what you said in the past, Caden, of like the devil fruits themselves having the wills. So what if the previous sort of wills of this legendary fruit are weighing down on him, and as a result, he could
You're
also
telling-
just be goofing us.
You telling me that this guy ate a fruit when he was 20 and now he's just like, man, I'm old because of that apple.
Caden,
God, that would
Hey,
suck.
Caden, when you turned 30, how tired did you feel?
I actually, hey, second puberty gave me a real
yeah,
boost.
I was
so I'm
gonna say we're
actually
talking.
feeling
Fair enough.
good.
Don't
You're
ask
talking to the
Caden.
wrong person.
Caden's in her second puberty. Now, me, on the other hand, I'm about to turn 34 on Friday. And
Congratulations. You've
my
dated the
bones
episode.
could not be crunchier.
Standing up has never made my
So just
knees more
average-
talkative.
Sound
You got them
effect of a
crumplies.
glow stick cracking every time I get off the couch.
Crack my
Can I-
knees like a glow stick.
A
Can I
normal
just-
human post 30 being exhausted versus A Phoenix post 45.
I shuffle
know,
in
man.
my slippers and I make my little butter and my sourdoughs and
There is something I do want to say about Marco specifically, and I think that Molly will really appreciate it. So when we first see Marco is just this kind of string bean little whatever. By the time we see him now,
Pineapple.
he is this spectacled, ripped, flaming,
Ripped pineapple.
eagle person.
So what you're saying, he's perfect.
Is what I'm saying is I understand why Molly was just like, hey, this
Perfect
guy's pretty
pineapple.
cool. And then the time skip happened. It's like, oh, wow, look at what happened to Mr. Birdman. Hello, Mr. Birdman. I definitely understand why Molly is like that. And especially because of the glasses thing. I definitely think I think the glasses made it more so for Molly.
that was a nice surprise.
But
I didn't know I needed that, but it was a nice surprise.
OG Marco was just kind of this like pipe cleaner looking
But,
string bean dude.
To be fair, most of them were. Like,
Yeah.
Oda does this retcon thing now where he makes, like, Luffy from when he was 15, or, like, when he redraws, like, Luffy at 17, this ripped kid, and he was, like, the most noodle he could have
He
possibly
was
been.
such a noodle. He was so noodle.
He forgot all the noodles.
And unless, like, they're, like, you know, because, like,
Now
at
it's
the
just
time,
the bolognese.
we didn't know who these characters were yet. Like, their whole personality was being a beefcake. Like, everybody else, like, if that's not was their thing, then they were just kind of, like, intimidating, but not ripped. And then he got good at drawing muscles and in perspective, and then was like,
Necks.
yeah,
Molly,
but, like,
I'm confused. Are you mad about it, or
I'm not mad about it. I'm more mad about it of him trying to change it now because he has it right the first time. Like, you don't have to be embarrassed about your old art, Oda. It looks great. Don't worry. It fits the character more that he's not like the way that he draws Luffy sometimes now, like as a 17-year-old, this ripped kid. I feel like more people wouldn't have fronted on Luffy immediately if he was
Yeah.
that ripped originally.
Yeah, I agree.
Front on that kid because he looks like a noodle. Like, you can
kid could
anybody
kick my ass?
anybody could kick his ass.
Versus
looked
a
at
rubber
Luffy.
man.
Exactly. Buggy looked at Luffy when he rolled up and was like, what is this little 8-year-old doing over here? Oh, a strong breeze will blow him over. If Buggy met Luffy and Luffy looked like he does now, Buggy would have ran. Buggy would run from a lot of things now, and most of them are way smaller than Luffy. So, like, come on.
Retconned Buggy would just be like a medium-sized tarp.
Because also, like, when we first meet Ace is like skinny ripped, and
Oh,
then
yeah.
by Marineford, like skinny ripped in like the terms of like the guy I had a crush on in high school who kind of had abs, and then like when we get to Marineford, it's like, oh, this is like mid to late 20s, somebody who regularly works out and has protein and is not like skinny ripped from like the basic necessities of exercising. Like, this
Yeah.
is actual ripped. Before it was just more of like body shaped kind of, like, this is real ripped, not like whatever. I mean, you know what I'm saying.
I definitely understand.
Okay.
Very excited that we're talking about character design before we get into this next arc.
Okay.
Very much so. Speaking of which, the final panel of these 3 chapters is, for some reason, Jewelry Bonnie is stuck in a giant water storm, and they free her, and now Bonnie's here.
Can I tell you how excited that panel made me? She's the only one from that whole group of the worst generation that we really haven't gotten to delve into. And with that tease of Kuma,
Apart from Uruguay, but also who cares?
yeah, but also who cares? like of the ones that we actually like got to see do important things. But like it's so like it's like, okay, cool. We're actually gonna like round this out and really like figure out what this group is gonna do, because Luffy's already partnered up with pretty much everybody else, but Bonnie has been this kind of outlier, and with her being tied directly to Kuma, this is gonna be cool. We're gonna get to see. First of all, I like Bonnie. I think Bonnie is a really fun character. I don't like any of her figures. I don't like any of them. I think they're
Good.
all awful.
100% agree, and have never liked them.
Because here's the thing, and I'm sorry
that,
to
I'm
all
not
the
just being
figure
silly.
manufacturers and all that stuff, and probably Oda a little bit, but
Don't apologize to him.
the characters that you are putting, the figure that you've made of her is not the character she is in the frickin' show. It is a different character. You are
off.
making her completely different. Don't do that. I don't want that. You know what I want if I want a figure of her? I want a figure of her looking really mad while eating an entire roasted chicken and shooting somebody. And I
Yeah.
want her to be
There you
sitting
go.
on a table completely clothed. I do not want her to be 100% naked except for tiny little pasties doing an ooh face. No, this is a nasty bitch. Let her be a nasty bitch. I want the nasty bitch figure. I don't want the ooh sugoi desune figure. I want nasty bitch figure. Okay, that's what I want.
Go back to the Shibuya or Sabaody episode, and you can listen to me rant about
You're
Bonnie.
right. Like you're right. Like the thing is I agree with you and how they like portray her in the additional stuff.
They
Because,
took
like, she's never
one
slept.
panel, her one intro panel, and they made that a personality. It's literally the same pose in every figure of her, and it's like,
Stupid.
can you guys chill?
The other there's two poses. There's that one, and then there's the one where she's like tied up facing Sakazuki.
Lame and stupid.
No, it's very terrible.
Give the woman an entire roasted chicken, a table full of roast beef, a couple pounds of candy, and she's shooting a dude, and she's wearing this whole like cloak
So-
thing, and she looks pissed off. Perfect.
So-
I want that figure.
Caden might not know this. It's a recent thing, but there is going to be a One Piece Burger King merch
Burger Ping?
collab sometime
In
soon.
France.
Why they should
What?
they should have Bonnie in that. Bonnie should be like eating burgers with Luffy, like just
I
chowing
want-
down because
I
she's
want-
always.
Are you kidding me?
The four
No, I
most,
want the merch so
the
bad.
four most gluttonous One Piece characters in
Yes.
Hungry Hippos. That's what
Yes.
I want. So Bonnie
I-
and Luffy and
Wapple.
Wapple's a
Blackbeard.
Wap and Blackbeard, yeah.
No
God.
Wapple.
So two bad guys, two good guys.
I really am excited to see more of Bonnie because she's a character I don't think we got enough of, and I think she's very interesting, especially in the idea of like her connection to Kuma and Kuma's whole like regression into this like very android like form and state. And I want Kuma back. Kuma was such a cool character, and I want that redemption for Kuma. That like idea of all of these different things.
It's sad to see the current state that he's in, where it seems like
It's
he's gone
really-
full android.
It really sucks, and like
Full beep boop.
I feel like that's part of the reason that Bonnie is kind of like out there doing what she's doing. Like it's got to be a big part of her motivation. It's just like, well, I kind of want my dad back. Like it'd be nice. It'd be nice because Kuma's a nice dude. Like he didn't kill everybody. Like he could have. He could have absolutely killed all of the Straw Hats. Easy.
Yep.
And he chose not to. Dude's a good guy. He's got problems, but he's a good guy.
What was it just? Oh, it took me so long too to like figure out who she was referring to. Because it comes on the heels of Whitebeard's death. And there's already like a little bit of contingency of like some legitimacy in terms of possible Whitebeard children. And so for like years until like, you know, because I'm reading as it comes out, for years I was like, yo, did Whitebeard have a daughter? Like that's crazy. And then when it finally got like, oh okay, oh yeah, I forgot. Yeah, Kuma was there too. Yeah.
Also Kuma.
Oh yeah. Yeah. He also was there. I don't know. I was just too busy focusing on my two favorites dying. It's cool.
all I have to say is, please tell me what the merch is for
I
Francis
posted it.
Burger King.
I posted it in your.
Oh, dude, that shirt is
For
cool.
The listeners at home, it's the Straw Hat Luffy logo with the crossbones. The Straw Hat is also doubles as a burger bun.
Sesame seeds on it.
Yes, it's got sesame seeds on it, and topped on the hat is a Burger King crown, and then on the other side of the crossbones is flames, and I want it
It's got
so
Guy
bad.
Fieri flames everywhere.
I want it
kinda
so bad.
love it. I
love
kinda
it.
love it.
Unironically, I want it.
Shout out to all of our audio listeners because that's all we have.
I'll post in the
A
Discord.
word picture.
I'll post it.
I need to remember to. Can you actually pin one of these so I can put it in the video episode when it comes out? 'Cause
Okay.
It's not that far off from where we are right now.
You got it.
Oh, that's crazy.
Apparently, there's cards too. They're gonna give
Yeah.
cards away for it. Oh.
All right, we'll talk
going
about
to
this full
France.
collab. We'll talk about this full collab in a later episode, probably. But because we need material. But before we sign off, I just wanted to see if anybody had like
Sign off. We haven't.
yeah.
No. We're not done. We're not done at all.
all right, prove me wrong.
Are we not going to talk about Shaggy?
I mean,
A huge thing got revealed, didn't it? About Shaggy?
go off.
All right, let me pull up the receipt.
Didn't say queen.
Let me
Molly's
just pull up the
making Molly's
receipt.
double checking. Unless
I'm
Molly's
like, Mark and I had a field day talking about this. I was like, what do you mean the episode's over? Are we not going to discuss this incredible Shaggy, the most interesting character in
I
One
agree,
Piece?
but
True.
I'm going off of what everybody else talks about.
Okay,
and when
that's
we
fair.
talked about the final chapter of the thing, that tells
Uh-huh.
me that we're at the end.
Okay.
Are you
all.
talking about Vegapunk's sea stone paddle ships?
From two
we know about
generations.
Because that's I mean, like the fact that there's like.
All right,
it's-
we're talking about my thing first, and then we can talk about your thing. We gotta talk about I love Shaggy so much. This is so crazy, and the fact that we didn't bring it up from 2 generations ago, former Empress of Amazon Lily, ex-captain of the KDIN Pirates, Saku Yaku. That's a big deal, you guys.
That's a pretty big deal.
That's a big deal. That's a huge deal.
Hey Molly, real quick. Remember when we were all trying to keep Kuma's title away from KDIN? And,
Yes.
and
It was
we
just there.
realized that we didn't read it.
Yes.
I'm not saying that that's what happened,
Yeah.
but that's what happened.
But sometimes history rhymes.
I totally forgot. It's like poetry. It's like they rhyme.
We talked about it when the chapter came out, I remember, because you and I were like shaking each other because we both love Shaggy so much. But this is like, we
You're
have
right.
the only thing we knew about her like previously was that she was part of like a Black Widow society type thing. She's
Yeah,
like
wonder
she's
what
an
that could have been.
informant, married Rayleigh, and that's kind of like, and she owns a bar, and that was kind of all we knew, and then that's all we kind of knew, and. Like, this is a huge amount of information I had to unpack. Like,
It
and
does
just like
also
this little
make
corner.
sense why he knew why Rayleigh knew, one, how to get to Amazon Lily, two, that Luffy would be safe near and around that area, and that he could be just like, hey, no, this one's fine, and everybody's like, all right, yeah, this dude's cool. That explains so much of like the history of the 2-year gap that we have, because why would they just let him? like even in context, there's a lot of, how come Rayleigh just shows up and does things and he gets away with it? And it's like, yeah, well, he's Roger's blah, 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 blah. But also, like, that doesn't excuse you from, like, doing what you do. Him and Shaggy just being like, oh, yeah, oh, that makes, yeah, no, everything.
Well,
in
I-
retrospect, it makes sense.
I think also the context is that when I'm looking at her, why do I not remember her name?
Yon?
Big Mood.
Boa.
Boa Hancock.
Thank you. God, I'm sorry, Boa.
How
when
dare you?
her and her sisters got out, got escaped from being slaves, I think the subtle text here, like based on their relationship with Rayleigh and Shaggy, is that they probably helped her get home or like helped her to some capacity. And like even in the panel I'm looking at right now, she's like leaning her head on Rayleigh's shoulder, or on knee rather. Like they seem to have like a more of a familial relationship, and even like originally when Rayleigh got to Amazon Lily before the time skip, like they had already known each other. And I just like, for like another subtle thing that I don't know if that'll ever get explained, but my headcanon is Rayleigh just casually swimming to the island, like probably to see Shaki, like when they first met. Is really cute to me.
You're telling me you didn't write that fic already?
I mean,
Or did I just give you homework?
Al will never tell.
I do
that's
definitely
crazy.
think that, like, I feel like this is one of those flavor text things that Oda's just like, and I'm going to put this here. And will it have any ramifications? Probably not. But it does build out the world, and it does make things, in retrospect, make a lot of sense. Because, and this is what I really kind of like about how One Piece works in general. One Piece lets characters exist first before giving them a title or connecting them to this and that and the other thing. Like,
Yeah.
Shanks wasn't anything super important until he was. And Buggy wasn't really a big deal. And then we found out all this other stuff. And then there's Kuma and Shaki and all these other people who are coming into play. And it's just like, oh, so like this really big world, one person's one thing does have the ripple effect across the rest of the ocean one way or the other. And even if you don't know them, you've heard of them or heard of something. And it's the way information travels and the way the cause and effect of everything happens. And now the world is starting to kind of shrink, but it's not really shrinking. It's because Luffy and the crew are growing that they're taking up more space in this world. So now everything feels like everything's connected, but it really wasn't always like that. And I like that it's growing into it rather than just like, oh well, yeah, Destiny, chosen one, son of the most important person, blah 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 blah. I like that everybody's allowed to grow into their character before like, oh well, look, Bonnie is the daughter of Kuma. Neat. That is cool information. I want more about that now that I know that. But I like these characters before that. And so there's more connective tissue to really toss them around now. And I think that's
To me,
neat.
it seems like that thing that Tetsuya Nomura could never figure out, which is a character design and the character is interesting, and then they make them more interesting.
Yeah. This picture of Moto-san.
Wow, I didn't know we were going to bring up some old beef tonight.
The gauntlet has been
text.
thrown to Nomura-san. The gauntlet has been
Ancient
thrown.
beef.
Yeah. I think truly though, I think this is going to be a huge context, KDIN, because I think we're not done with seeing flashbacks of the older generation, like Garp, Roger, Whitebeard. Like, I think that this is going to have context to, like, some other event that he's going to have to go back and be like, oh, here's context for all this crazy stuff. That's like,
Molly,
I have no confirmation on that. I'm just thinking, like, I truly think that, like, he put that in there to be like, oh, so you guys can't come at me and say I never told you their names are Lapis Lazuli.
Okay, so here's my question, Molly. Is that based off of context clues or based off of hopefulness to see more young, hot Garp?
I mean, listen, Oda's the one who has the assignment, okay? That's Oda's assignment, to make sure that he draws young Garp hot.
Okay.
Yeah, Molly's just giving Oda a grade.
Yeah.
I mean, we can go
This is
back
gonna-
to Thriller Bark with, oh God, what was her name? The Charlotte.
Oh,
the one of many.
Lola.
Yeah, Lola.
Yeah.
Lola,
Oh, yes.
Lola was a big tease for Big Mom.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
All of that, and something that we didn't get resolved for years. But it was one
Yep.
of those things where it was a tee up to something that we didn't know was a tee up, and now
A tease up.
a tease up, and now through that context, we're kind of keeping
I mean,
a look over our shoulder to be like, this is going to mean something, right?
if we really want to get into it, we could talk about not Luffy, Spring Boy, and his association with Del Flamingo.
Yeah,
Bellamy.
Yeah, Java, all the way back from Java.
Dude, this
So.
show, this story is, God, it's so good.
Layered, like an onion or a cake, even.
Not anymore.
Yeah, no, we ate that cake.
You didn't save any? We're getting
No, we
close to
kept
our
it-
last bites.
We kept it in the freezer for a year, but that's an old conversation.
There's a lot. Just listen to the podcast. There's so many references tonight that are all from other episodes.
Yeah, it's not like we've been going back and listening to stuff for any particular reason. Hey.
Hi.
There's
Hi,
video
Mark.
There's video
Hi, everybody.
episodes now on YouTube.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, if you go to youtube.com/IO Talk Show, you can watch us in video form. And by the time this episode comes out, we're getting pretty close to Hot Wano Summer in video form.
That is crazy.
Yeah,
It's gonna be just in time for this summer.
seriously. But yeah, I still feel like that was in a case of before we go. But is there anything else from these 3 very dense chapters that y'all want to talk about that we haven't talked about?
I like everyone's new outfits for these 3
Yes.
chapters. Very cute.
I can't wait to see more of this group of little Gen Alpha kids going around beating the crap out of people. This is gonna be awesome. I'm more of
My
more of-
OCs.
My
OCs do not
more of these
steal.
little blonde bitches, please.
Oh, that reminds me, something that Oda has been doing in the SBSs for years is showing people as kids. Mm-hmm. And I feel like he's weaponizing that.
He's been training.
He was going through a box of old stuff and he found those designs. Was like, oh, I can use this.
What
He
if your
took off the training weights and now they're terrifying.
What if your fave was a kid, and what if that kid was evil?
So,
Literally left them in the oven for too long, and now they're super tanned and crispy.
so just as a little mouche bouche to end the episode, why don't you guys remind me the warlords? One Piece warlords. We saw Boa and we saw Mihawk.
Those were the 2, yeah.
Those are the
So within that context, who were the warlords originally? That was what, Crocodile?
When the show started?
I'm trying to think what the timeline would be of them
Crocodile
getting.
from like the beginning.
I'm just trying to think
yeah.
of like them in terms of the
Gordon.
government, in terms of the government getting their DNA, right?
Crocodile,
I'm like, 'cause-
Hancock, Moria.
Gecko?
Moria, Gecko
oh
Moria.
no,
Gordon.
I don't want to see Moria as a child.
Joker.
Jimbei.
Jimbei. Actually, Gecko Moria as a
Doflamingo.
child. Gecko Moria as a child just looks like a kid.
He's just a kid.
Don Quixote, Don Flamenco.
If
Okay.
he let them have his, actually no, probably because of his elevated status, they probably didn't touch him.
Well, I'm just saying that would be, and
I'm just
Mihawk.
expressing.
Yeah,
Mihawk,
I don't want to
right?
see him.
So it would be
Yeah.
Crocodile, Moria, Jimbei, Mihawk,
Kuma.
Kuma, and Boa Hancock and Don Flamenco.
So out of all of these warlords, I feel like the only one I want to see is little Jinbei.
Can you, baby Mihawk holding the tiny little sword that Mihawk had?
The butter knife.
That's gonna become
God,
some
that's
weird
so cute.
father-son dynamic. I'm not sure if I like it or not.
Oh my god, that'd be amazing.
but
It's like
baby Jinbei, I would love to see that.
Mihawk fighting his younger self with a tiny sword.
You know what would be really funny if the animators did as like a fun little, I don't know, like a commercial break thing. You know that scene when everybody gathers to discuss Crocodile getting defeated, and it's like that iconic scene of like Doflamingo doing that weird walkway, like that weird
Yeah.
walk with like Kuma and Moria. They should redo that with all of them as children.
That's pretty funny.
That would be silly.
Dude, I want to
Walking
see
to the
these.
next island.
I
Yeah.
do want to see these little Gen Alpha 7 Warlords of the Sea clones kind of go off. I'm really excited for this actually.
Because now I'm like sitting here and thinking, and it all depends upon when they got the DNA and when, however long it takes to like bottle baby these children. Because like
Hate that.
we also have the issue of a child Buggy, don't we?
God.
And a child Law.
Well,
Oh,
I don't
yeah,
know if
Law.
Buggy was ever brought in, and Law was always was technically under the protection of Don Flamingo, so he might have also been spared from it, but we don't know. Like you
I
said,
don't know
we
if
don't know how
it's-
long the process takes.
Oda hasn't told us like how it works, because I don't know if they're like, hey Buggy, spit in this tube and you can be a
Spit in the cup,
warlord.
weirdo. You freaking
Yeah.
clown.
he was scream and spat all over that prison. So
Well, because it might have also been
Wait
a
a
situation where we saw them call the meeting. Did they ever call
Wait a
meeting
minute.
of the Shichibukai?
Wait a minute.
ahead.
Hold on. Hold the phone.
What's up?
Dracula Mihawk. Boa Hancock. Bartholomew
Dracula
Kuma,
sounds like Dracula.
Gecko Moria. Crocodile. Jimbei. Don Quixote do Flamenco. They're all freaking animals.
Oh, and Kuma,
Wow,
bear.
why you got to put it like that?
But Buggy
Hawk,
and Law
Kuma.
aren't aminals.
Snake.
I feel like that was
Crocodile.
intentional. I feel like he did that. He loves adding animals to stuff. I bet he did that purposefully.
This is
mean,
weird
the
though.
Animal Kingdom Pirates.
Because I'm trying to think
Yeah.
of the other like warlords that they had with Buggy. Not well. I get
Oh wait,
Bug, but
Moria
like
is Moria
Law,
Bats.
Gecko.
Gecko.
Buggy's
Gecko.
just bugs.
Oh, yeah. Okay, so Caden, if you want it, it's Kuma, Jinbei, Buggy,
Bear. Shark,
Doflamingo,
Flamingo,
Blackbeard, Boa,
Snake,
Mihawk, Law, Crocodile, and Gecko.
That's 7. They're all animals.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9,
I'm
10.
connecting
That's
the
10.
dots. You've connected nothing. I'm connecting the dots.
I mean, maybe previously, but like with the new people who had become warlords after other ones had fallen, the 3 people who get added after aren't necessarily
Are
associated
not
with
animals, so they're not
Yeah.
important. I'm connecting
mean,
the dots.
truly,
I'm brewing it. It's coming
Caden,
together.
truly, the lead up to Marineford and meeting all these new characters, everyone associated with the Marines has an association with an animal. Does that make sense?
I'm
Akainu.
choosing to
Even
ignore
like-
this for my theory.
Even like the
Kiji.
admirals and the vice admirals are all like Akumaru and not Akumaru.
Akainu.
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 Yeah, Akainu, Aokiji. Sorry. Those are all associated with animals as well. That was like his whole naming bracket for code names, I
but
think.
I ain't seeing any little mini clones of any Marines.
So I
That's
think
all I'm saying.
We
think
almost have a Zodiac, is all I'm saying.
depending on how this works, of like them taking blood or DNA or whatever to get the job, I want to see Little Buggy, and I want to see Little
don't think I
Jinbei.
wanna know. I don't think I want to see Little Buggy.
I wanna
don't
see
know
Little
if I'd
Buggy.
want to see Little Buggy.
Also, everyone
I
who's
mean, we
been
also have seen Little Buggy.
I know,
Yeah,
but
and he was a
I want to
little
see
shit.
I want to see an unbiased Little Buggy.
an unbiased Little Buggy
Made by the government. That's
made
But
by the government
manufactured evil.
Yeah, it sounds unbiased to
And
me. A
then-
manufactured evil child clown.
The reason we'll never see a buggy pacifist is because it kept failing.
I didn't know how.
Well, like
Just
if they
couldn't synthesize.
Chaotic chaos.
the other thing is that like I guess if they tried to like use like snips of everybody's hair, they kept trying to cut off his hair and it wouldn't work.
Oh, maybe.
It's like, or also
So-
they fully knew. They're fully aware that he's an idiot and they don't care.
It's
Dude,
now I'm thinking from a joke early on where I'm like, Buggy will find out about this clone and he will have a Den Mushi called Little Buggy, and then he'll have a Little Me as well.
There's
Mini
Little
Me. He'll have a
Buggy
mini
and
me.
Mini
He'll have a
Buggy.
mini me. Yeah, Mini Buggy and a Mini Me.
what you're saying is insane, and I love it.
Also, out of the 10 warlords that we have known of, only one of them is not a devil fruit user.
That we know
True.
of.
That we
I mean,
know of. That's true.
I think Mihawk's whole thing is that he doesn't need a devil fruit, but
Yeah. What if he has one that's like the grape no me and the wine is his blood? I don't know.
I feel like we definitely saw images of him on Baratier covered in seawater from like a splash situation.
God, I hope
I've seen this man
everybody.
drenched before.
I've seen this man absolutely wet.
I don't like that. I don't like how you said that.
I don't.
Well,
like
that's how you said it.
Yeah. Well, now I'm ready to wrap the episode up.
Before we
change
do,
of gears.
Oh, wait.
I'm getting
we
into
know where
Weddy
we're
Daddy
going.
territory. And
We
she's
know where
scared of
we're
it.
going. We know where our heading is.
No, we don't.
Do we?
We know where
We
we
do.
know where one person is heading.
We know, but that's the only heading we have.
That doesn't mean we know that Kobe is heading to a place called Egghead Port.
We
That's
have a
all
heading.
we know.
We have a heading.
No, Kobe has a heading.
Kobe might be dead.
Kobe might be dead.
Kobe might be
And
dead.
you know who else might be dead? Sabo.
Oh.
No.
Sabo.
Yeah. So Luffy's gonna mug the
Oops,
camera
all
and just
dead
be like,
brothers.
"Oh, not again."
It's going to be a record scratch and it's going to be a voiceover. You're probably wondering how I got into this mess.
and it's Luffy sobbing over two dead brothers.
Oh my god.
Man,
Oh, we have our episode title.
Yeah. Oops, all dead brothers.
Yamato's still alive.
Yama bro better stay alive.
Yeah,
you can
he
kill a
better.
couple more brothers though.
So help me if I
brother.
lose one more brother.
Now you're just asking for it.
No,
Don't-
stop.
That's a red flag.
All right, everybody give me
Oda,
your
stop.
phones. Everybody give me your phones. You're not allowed to have them
It's
anymore.
already
Alright, fine.
smashed, Molly.
Listen, I know you have a burner phone. Give it here.
Shut up. No, I don't. Shut up.
I'm excited for this next arc. I really am. It's nice to be back to, as cool as all the stuff that we just went through. It's nice to be back on the ocean with like pirate stuff happening. Like, you know, we're back, baby.
We're just finally answering the questions we wanted answered most year. Like, will he draw young Garp Pot?
And will these Gen Alpha kids end up killing the Marines? We'll find
Will
out.
they invent TikTok? We'll find out.
Oh God, I hope the government.
Oh
doesn't
my
invent TikTok.
god! Oh my god! What if one of the endings for the anime will have all of these like little Gen Alpha like kid clones doing TikTok dances? I'd
wanna-
ironically love that.
It'd be called Dendon or something.
I can't stress enough that freaking Film Red opened that world
I was
up.
gonna say these kids grew up in a world where there was
did.
a famous streamer.
One
I was
idol,
like,
yeah.
I want to be a streamer too when I grow up. I don't want to do war crimes.
There's
You
something
mean
so
I can
funny.
be an influencer? I wanna.
The moral of that movie is that influencers can do war crimes too.
Oh no!
No, instead of war crimes.
Dude, Gecko Moria would absolutely be like little baby Gecko Moria would absolutely be one of those Fortnite kids. Oh my god.
No, Gecko Moria would be a viner.
No, baby Gecko Moria. We're talking Gen Alpha. There's Vine is dead. Stop trying to bring it back.
No,
Maybe
I will
that's
never stop.
why. Maybe that's why we haven't seen them yet. They're too busy at the Marine base playing Minecraft. They're trying to get Crocodile and Moria out the door.
The
And it's
little
just
crocodile
silent
and
clicking.
Mihawk playing Mine.
They're
Frantic
in the
clicking.
same. They're in the same server, but one's building a house and one's miles away in the mines.
Children
Oh
yearn for the
man,
mines.
that's awesome.
I feel
Forget the
like-
rest of One Piece.
Or is
I want
that
that
dated?
show.
Is that me being dated? Is it Roblox now, or is it Club Penguin?
No, it's Club Penguin went under. Minecraft and Roblox are both
Neopets.
still important.
Neopets is relevant. That's still
Neopets came
relevant.
back, baby. Neopets
Minecraft
came back.
also came back, so I
Minecraft,
think that's
Minecraft
safe.
never went away.
It never went away.
Minecraft never went away. No, it really never did.
From a public facing perspective. Yes, it did.
Whoa,
but-
whoa.
Yeah, no.
If
Crocodile,
we're talking about influence on the younger generation, yeah, it went away and came back.
Croco Baby and Hawk Baby would definitely play Minecraft. That's all I'm saying. That's
We can
it.
have a whole conversation about
We're
this.
gonna. That's gonna be an episode now.
gonna.
Whether you like it or not,
gonna.
we're gonna have this is like, all right, AU time. What would these kids be doing?
Well, actually, it's funny that you
In a
say
perfect
that, Caden.
world, they have a better life and they're not cloned by the government. How cool would their Muppet Babies like adventures be?
And what character would be invented just for that show? But when you say that, I have to come back to the top of the episode where I talked about this being our final arc, because, as anybody who's caught up will know, at least at time of recording this, we've only got theoretically like a handful of chapters left.
100
to cover.
chapters.
That's
100 chapters.
Compared to what's been up to this point, that's a handful. And how we've been
No,
splitting it
we
up.
have.
That's
I
not
can
a
tell you
lot.
exactly how many chapters I haven't read. I can tell you exactly how many.
I mean, we also
50.
know.
Oh, just
50.
kidding.
Yeah,
It's 40.
Exactly
Yeah.
50.
Yeah.
50
Just double checked.
exactly.
Because
Yeah.
1105 just came out the
Yep.
week before we recorded this.
Yeah.
So,
We're so close.
and
50
and what
chapters,
that means
everybody.
is before our anniversary this year,
Oh.
Caden is going to be
Oh.
caught up
Oh, no.
with One Piece.
Oh, no.
Yay.
What's this show going to be about?
I guess we'll never know.
It'll
But
be
if
about
you
the
want
One
to talk
Piece.
about that, you can follow us all over the web and some various social media accounts, like where you can follow Caden.
You can follow me, Caden Jensen, on pretty much everything like Tumblr and Blue Sky and Threads and Twitch, of course, because I'm a VTuber and I stream all the time. But you can also follow me on Caden VT on TikTok or Real Caden Jensen on TikTok, depending on what you want. Oh my God, I pulled a Molly. Oh my God.
Speaking of, Al, where can the folks find you?
Hey, you can find me basically everywhere except for the one that got X'd out at Al McClellan Jr. That's ALMCCLELLANDJR. Good luck.
And you can find me all over the internet at Mark B. Donica. I recently got a job doing social media, so I don't post that much, but
Dab.
I do every now and again. Mostly I post really dumb stuff on Instagram, so you can follow me there at Mark B. Donica. Yeah. How about you, Captain?
Well, as of kind of like today.
Wow.
Okay, chill out. Getting my Twitch up and going for some art streams and games and whatever else. You can find me on Twitch
is?
at Molly Flood altogether. You can also find me
Just
on...
Molly Flood. All together is separate.
Yeah. That's my burner account. Tumblr is Molly Flood, Molly K Flood, depending on what you're looking for, art or memes. And we have a Yayo Talk Show Tumblr, so you can follow us on that for the most current episode art and memes that we're doing. Also on Blue Sky. It's pretty dead, I think, but I'm still on there, and that's it.
Well, going along with how most arcs and sagas have ended now that you've listened to the episode, you've joined our grand fleet. With that comes the responsibility of telling your friends, leaving a comment, following us all over social media at Yayo Talk Show, and letting Caden read the rest of this arc in one piece. So come aboard, and we'll see you next time on Yayo Talk Show.
Talking about One Piece.